Welcome friends to another episode of CNS Viewpoint. Just like every day, today again we at 5 p.m. India time, we are back with you with our thoughts and views on something that made us think. Today we are going to talk about that the data which has come out that road traffic accidents, road traffic deaths, road traffic injuries, everything has shot up in Uttar Pradesh state of India if you compare it with the data in 2020 and previous years. This is really extremely shocking because as you remember, both years we had COVID protocol, lockdown etc. were there for several weeks and months, and this is so alarming. So just for in 2020 we had about 20,753 road traffic crashes or accidents. But in 2021, from 20,753 in 2020, the data went up to 24,513 road traffic crashes and accidents. In terms of injuries, there were 13,698 injuries in 2020. In 2021, we had 16,129, which is about 17.7% increase. And if you look at deaths, then road traffic deaths in 2020 was 11,662, and in 2021 it shot up to 13,995, a 20% increase in deaths from data from January to August of 2020 and 2021 and other previous years. This is very alarming, friends, because our government of India, along with all the governments in the world, have committed many years ago to reduce to half the road traffic crashes and road traffic deaths, because each road traffic crash is preventable, each road traffic death is untimely, and so they had committed years back that they will halve the road traffic crashes and deaths by 2020. But 2020 came, and actually apart from some success in some countries, most of the countries have reported an increase in road traffic crashes and deaths, which is very alarming, very sad, also pathetic, because of the wrong and development policies we have followed, and we're not actually made the road safer for everyone, whether the person is using motor vehicle or the person is cycling or walking. Most countries are at a very bad in a very bad and sad position. So what happened? This happened that in 2020, February 2020, the ministers of all the countries in the world met in Stockholm and signed upon a Stockholm Declaration. From India, our Transport Minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, had gone, and Stockholm Declaration, and basically they said that the target to half the road traffic crashes and road traffic deaths for 2020 was not met in most countries, and now it will be met by 2030. So they bought another 10 years for themselves and to meet this goal, to keep this promise. And they also said that the maximum speed of on the roads will be reduced to 30 km per hour in all these countries. Why 30 km per hour? Because from 2004 many cities have implemented 30 km per hour maximum speed limit, and they have seen that roads become safer for everyone, for motor vehicle riders as well as for those who are walking, who are cycling, who are using other forms of transport, or who are using the road for other purposes, like children who are playing on the road, etc. So and there are I have done other CNS Viewpoint on this issues more than once, and if you look at the CNS Viewpoint archive, you will find more details on why we should reduce the maximum speed to 30 km per hour. So it's all gain, and in my personal experience, even those who fancy big cars, they are not the losers, because the average speed at which they reach from point A to point B is often less than 30 km per hour, and in wherever you are, you can check in your own context what is the average speed by which you reach from point A to point B. And so coming back, governments promised in February 2020 by in form of Stockholm Declaration that they will reduce the maximum speed to 30 km per hour, and they will reduce half road traffic accidents and deaths by 2030 now. So later in 2020 at the United Nations General Assembly, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi and as well as other heads of the countries worldwide at UN General Assembly 2020, they further stamped on these declarations and promises that road traffic deaths, crashes will be halved by 2020 and 2030, and the maximum speed will be reduced to 30 km per hour, because that is the best thing to do in terms of making roads safer for everyone, not just for motor car or motor vehicle riders, but for each one of us. So this is where we are, but the reality is very grim. Despite these promises, if you look at the ground reality, for example in Uttar Pradesh, despite the promises of Nitin Gadkari ji and Narendra Modi ji at the World International Forum, the UP data shows that from January to August 2021, the road traffic crash accidents increased by almost 20%, road traffic injuries increased by almost 20%, and road traffic deaths also increased in the state of Uttar Pradesh by 20%. This is really very, very shocking and pathetic. If this is the condition, then how are we going to deliver on the promises which our national leaders have made at the World Forum? And it is not about the ego or making a win or of keeping the promise, but it is about saving lives. Each of the road traffic accident, each of the road traffic untimely death is so very preventable and so unfortunate. And more often than not, it is a person who is not inside a motor vehicle or not riding a motor vehicle, but those who might be cycling, who might be walking, who might be doing vending, or even homeless people. Even one prominent Bollywood film star, Salman Khan, was accused of killing people who were sleeping on the road, at least his car. I don't know what happened to that case, but that this is a reality, that people use roads for different space. It's a public space, it is made by public money, it is not just for car riders and motorcycle riders or motor vehicle riders. So roads have to become safer for each one of us, and actually we have to keep the last person in mind. If the roads become safer for our children, that will automatically by default become safer for each one of us. So let us hope that our roads become safer for each one of us. Let us hope that governments, whether it is a city government administration, or it is the state government, or it is the national government, or globally, rates of road traffic accidents and crashes decline at a much faster pace. At least they should start declining, not increasing as they increase in Uttar Pradesh. This is a real shame, and so embarrassing, and not only embarrassing, so unfortunate, because every death is so unfortunate of road traffic accidents, so untimely, so very preventable. So hoping for a safer road for each one of us, especially those who are not using any motorized vehicle, because roads belong to everyone. We have to share this space with everyone, and they are not just for the motor vehicle riders. So with these words, let me show you some great flowers of October 2021, and with these words, bye bye till we meet again tomorrow again at 5 p.m. with our thoughts and views and perspectives and opinions about something that made us think. Again tomorrow 5 p.m.